Hello guys, welcome to Train Sim TV. Right, in today's video we're going to be having a look at the updated Midland Main Line, the Derby Nottingham Leicester route from Skyhook Games. The update came out on the 7th of this month, so yesterday, according to when we recorded this, but we didn't get a chance to do it on the day of release, so I'm now doing it now. So we're a little bit behind with it, but we are here. We're going to have a look at what's new. We're going to go for the changelog, have a look at the route, see what's new, see what changes we can find, and improvements with the train. We're going to go with the 158 again on this for this run. I will do the HST again at some point, and there will be some streams with this as well. So there's a bit to get in there, but to do as a video, I'm going to go with the 158. So yeah, let's get in there. I'm going to go with, I think I've got a Creators Club livery. I'm going to go with EMR, well, EMT white, shall I say. Let's just pick a run. What can we do? I'm going to go with a Matlock Newark, I think, for this video. And we'll have a look at what's been done on that section. Now, I believe there is some changes to Derby, which I'm quite interested in. On custom, we'll just stick it on clear, leave it custom or anything like that, because I don't want it to turn into a snow shower in about 5 minutes time, so we'll go with that. Yeah, big update. 184 changed, I believe, on this. So we'll try and cover everything. We're not going to cover everything, but we'll go through all the stuff on the log and have a look around and all that jazz. I did have a sound mod for the 158 in, but I took it out just for the purpose of this video, just so we have everything as it should be on obviously a purchase, so as you get it out of the box. The sound mod, however, is very good. I do recommend it. It's on Train Sim Community. You might have heard it before on the stream, but for this video I've took it out. So we're going to do 2K45 Matlock to Newark Castle. It's a 13:11 from Derby heading to Nottingham. So I'm just going to right, what am I going to do? I'll put this on first. There, the doors are open. I was waiting for the little popping noise. Right, so yeah, that's all working good. I have a feeling this wasn't quite working as it should have done in the past, but that's looking all right. DRA. I can see it. I think before on the release it was pretty hard to see the DRA. Stuff like with the 158 dials as well, those have been updated. Let me just put the instrument lights. There you go. You can actually see the actual lights up properly now. I think on the release, what basically happened was when you turn the instrument lights off, I think all the dials went out, or some of it went off. But it's now actually lit up properly, which looks it's sort of like it fades in as well when you turn it on. It's quite nice. So it's a quick fade, but it does. GSMR, that works. That wasn't working properly before, I believe, as well. The head code, you couldn't register the head code. It came on, but it didn't give you that. So that's working. Right, so I'm gonna just jump out for a minute because we're gonna be here for a moment. I'm probably end up gonna restarting this to get moving. So basically, what they've done is, as you can see, it's the white livery. This is off Creators Hub. So grab it yourselves. It looks quite cool. I just fancied it as a bit of a different from the usual EMT blue stagecoachy colours. Now, one thing you'll notice is that there's no one actually stood in your doorway. When passengers got in here, they will sort of stand here and look in there. So they actually don't do that now, which is nice. It was really annoying. You couldn't get into your cab. Don't think anything's been done with the destination stuff. It's all a little bit too small to my liking, but there we are. Right, so one thing I can see straight away at Derby is they've actually put the cable trunk in the middle. This was all missing, and this really was one of the things that I spotted straight away, with it being quite noticeable, really. It's only on that middle of them platforms there. It's not on these ones, but Nice to see they've actually gone back and added that. Now, apparently it says they've added some buildings around here. Now, I'm just going to go back in here, just so I can fly around. So, one thing that they have added, and I know straight away because I heard them on about it, is the roundhouse, which is this here. This is a college, I believe, these days, but this was actually a railway roundhouse, and it was missing. They've actually gone back and taken the time to model this, which is nice. I mean, the clock's wrong. It's not true to the game time, but I'm not too fussed about that. It's just nice to actually see that they've gone back and added some new customs to the release. So fair play to them on that. Good stuff. Not sure what else they've added in the station. I think they've done something with the pillars. Not too sure if that's somewhere around here. It still has EMR purple on these though. Really, I would have thought then should have been like orange for East Midlands trains, but they've actually got EMR colours on the station. I did notice that they haven't done anything about like the old rail office and stuff. There's some here that would have been there, and also Rogue's offices. I don't think those have been portrayed on the update. That's just a generic office block by what's in there, which is a shame. Would have been nice to see all this sort of done along the track side here, because it's pretty iconic, this area, rich railway heritage, history and all that. But we have got some bits and pieces, so we can't grumble. We have actually added some bits and pieces. So I'm just going to leave the train here for a second. I'm going to go through this changelog before we do anything, because really, this is what you want to know. This is what you want to hear. I will put a link to this in the description as well, but for the purpose of the video. So, full changelog, core side of things. Remove large black object appearing in the sky. Basically, so aliens don't invade TSW till 2177. Xbox memory improvements, saving 112 megabyte, which is pretty good, I think. I mean, I'm on PC, I don't play on Xbox, but anything saving memory and everything like that's got to be good, surely. So, the timetable. Added 89 HST services, particularly between Derby and Leicester. Now, these would really be 222s, the Meridians, but they've at least added these services in, rather than ignoring them. So even though it's not a Meridian you're going to see a HST in their place. Fingers crossed one day we will see a 222 for this, because if not, I think they're missing an absolute trick. Yeah, I can't see it not coming. Surely it's got to come one day, hasn't it? But for now, we've got HSTs in there. Should they obviously go and add that in, that'll obviously probably take their place. However, they have actually gone on the forums asking for people's thoughts on what would they like to see with the Midland Main Line. So if you're on the DTG live forums, go and have a look for that and express your thoughts on what you'd like to see. They've also added 20 Ivanhoe services between Leicester and Nottingham, including free freights. Added ROG service from Derby to Leicester, dragging a blue class 387. Re-enabling the ROG class 375 blue service. Re-enabling Totem's Highline Leicester aggregate freight service, and also updated the class 66 rail tour to use the Southeastern High Speed class 66 instead of the RHTT dirty version. On the gameplay side of things, they've removed a short 90-mile-an-hour section when leaving Nottingham Station, fixed a crash starting the set pieces scenario, fixed missing set junction objectives on the set pieces scenario, and fixed custom liveries spawning in HST and 158 formations on introductions and tutorials. Everything to do with Derby and the station and surrounding areas are added Derby's Arena Football Stadium, added 3 new buildings on the platforms, and updated many others. So they've added 3 new buildings on the platforms. Okay, let's have a look. Unless these are new. I don't know. Are these new? I don't know. I can't quite remember if these are new or if these were... What? They can't be new. I'm sure they were there. What else have they added here? They've added 3 new buildings. Have they added these areas? Have they made these accessible? I don't know. What are the new 3 buildings? I don't know what these 3 new buildings are. Please tell me, because I feel like I have no idea. I don't think this goes into the fact that they've missed something main and major out of the station, like something like that. They must have added some custom buildings to the actual model rather than what might have been there before. That might have been like some generic or something. I'm not too sure on that one. If anything, it could be these, but I feel like they were already there. So yeah, if anyone knows, do tell me in the comments if you've spotted something that I haven't here. They've also modelled the Derby Roundhouse, which you've seen. That's got new textures and model and all that sort of jazz. Added barriers to Derby Station. Changed bridge supports, which we've seen them. Updated Derby side building with doors, windows and arches and weathering effects. Station building should no longer be floating. I did see that, I think, on my original video as well. That's nice to see that's been fixed. Added more car variation in the car parks around Derby. Lamps no longer clip into the wall around the station. Renamed text above lounge on platform 7 to read EMT lounge. Removed floating benches. Adjusted lighting around the station. Fixed light leaking in through the underpass roof from the platform above. Fixed the rain passing through the canopies. And fixed holes in the scenery at Derby Station. Talk about mind the gap. Rightio. I wonder if they're calling the barriers to these. Although these are cable trunking rather than barriers. Unless the barriers are them things. Who knows? East Midlands Parkway. NPCs will now spawn at East Midlands Parkway. Shelters will no longer change size when moving away. Added missing track point blades coming out of the tunnel before East Midlands Parkway. That was basically, so there was some point where it looked like it was incomplete. It had basically the blades. When I say blades, I mean obviously here. So these bits were missing. And the points would sort of like start here. Where I think you can see my mouse. If you can see my mouse, I'm pretty sure I've set that up. I'll double check. Yes. So when my mouse is here, that was where the points were sort of starting. So it was missing everything down towards the camera here. So they've added them basically to bits that were missing. I hope they've done the same at Nottingham because that had some like same issue as well. Where are we at? Updated with signage and display boards to the platforms to better match references and adding weathering on the platforms. Player should now be able to climb onto the platforms at East Midlands Parkway and Leicester Station. Remove snow build-up appearing on platform 1 and fixed posters clipped into the fences. Now, I don't see anything there about fixing the missing roof in EMP, but hopefully they've actually fixed that and just forgotten to mention it. There was a big hole in the ceiling, so you can actually see through to the sky if you look through the windows on the platform. Fingers crossed that's been fixed. Nottingham. Snow will no longer build up underneath the bridge. Fixed floating assets around platforms near Barrow-upon-Soar and Nottingham. Fixed issues with passengers getting stuck or floating under Nottingham, at Nottingham Station. And fixed Nottingham Station platform number signage to be correct with the right number. Additional notes. Added AWS magnet on the line from Derby to Spondham. Added a new bridge around Leicester. Achieving a gold medal on 5 Delta 90 Derby Etches Park will now correctly display on the menu. Redesigned solar level crossing to be more natural. Added angled plate crossing plate, whatever that is. Adjusted platform height at System. Rain and snow should no longer clip the ends of Red Hill Tunnel. Adjusted platform at Barrow-upon-Soar so it no longer clips with the 158. Updated scenery around Loughborough based on community feedback. Adjusted the platform gauging at Leicester so that the platforms better match the curvature of the track, which is nice to hear. Quite a lot of the station on this route were sort of plagued with that issue, with a lot of jagged edges and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll, when we come to see these things, we'll see that they've hopefully fixed all that. Fitted incandescent light bulbs to the signals just north of Leicester Station. Move lamppost at Spondon so a car stop should be attached to it. Activated an AWS ramp for the signal just north of Beeston Station. Passengers will no longer get stuck in the ground before boarding at Leicester at Loughborough. Creating an extra car stop at Loughborough so longer trains can fit more coaches on the platform and allow the passengers to board. Signal LR501 should no longer display double greens on a clear aspect and appropriate numbers of yellow on caution aspects. Fixed trees appearing too close to the track. Fix the gap at Leicester's footbridge. Fix Beeston Station staircase textures. Fixed conflicting speed limit information around the curve at Long Eaton and East Middle and before East Middle partway from Nottingham. Fixed hedge materials displaying incorrectly. Fixed various collision errors and clipping across all stations and along the route. Fixed various camera clipping issues. Players can no longer fly through iconic buildings. Fixed flower pots attachment to fences at Long Eaton Station. Fixed text at the end of the night train scenario from disappearing too quickly. And fixed various spelling errors. Onto the train. So the Class 158. We thought we were done, but we're still not. Yeah, I'm going to read all these out because they're actually quite... I'd rather actually go through all these and cover it all. So passengers no longer stand in the vestibules and block the player. We've seen that. Added 2 help tips that show the player how to open the doors using the shortcuts. Added a set to and set reverser to off in the tutorial. Added animations and a toggle to the clipboard light switch. Added a DSD pedal animation and sounds. Door panel buttons should function now as expected. Window wipers now properly clear the snow and rain. Change wiper mode speeds for different slow and fast settings. Raise the driver viewpoint by 5 centimeters. Allowed gangway door to be opened from the opposite end, basically the opposite cab, and couple 2 units. Cab dial needles now can be seen at night with the cab lights off. Taillights are now correctly red. Train should work as expected when taking over from an AI after being previously coupled. I don't think I've actually done any coupling on this, so I'm yet to see that. Adjusted platform height at site and station. I think we've seen that one already. Adjusted vigilance penalty and pedal emergency timers to align with real-life setups. Changed the traction isolation and vigilance isolation to be toggleable, and also made it so that the glass bar is removed when you toggle them. Changed orange swooping line on the exterior of the 158, sorry, which will now end with a sharp point based on the community feedback and reference images. Ensured the climb up points is an option for all doors. Ensured that the guard panel buttons are clickable and that buzzer has audio. Ensuring startup engine with aux lights extinguished will now not trip the alternator excitation. It's a big word. Ensured local control only shuts off the local engine and the engine can be restarted by pressing the engine start. Implemented the fault light lamp test when the lamp when the fault lamp test button is pressed, the engine stop and the transmission fault lights are illuminated. So much here to cover. There's so many things. I'm absolutely staggered at the amount of stuff they've done, and there's still quite a bit for the 158. In both 52 and 57 variants, the key will now correctly disappear once players have stopped interacting with the key VHID in the guard panel. Cab lights will now be visible if instrument lights are inactive, or when the direct sunlight, obviously when it's facing direct sunlight. I can hear a train. I can't see a train. Hey, it's there, look at the HSTs here. Excellent. That's coming from the south end of the route. No, not south, sorry, the north end of the route. What am I on about? Where are we at? Good God, I've lost it. Cab gauges will now be visible if instrument lights are inactive or in direct sunlight. So that's the last one. Right, so brake demand light will now flash when brake demand is triggered and the TPWS and AWS button has not been pressed. Prevented players from being able to click the front coupler in external view. Disable sander and uncoupling button lights from illuminating. Remove the ability to interact with the second man's seat through the window, basically from the outside world there. Remove the ripple visual effect from the front window. Thank God, I didn't like that. That was one of the things that it was annoying. That's great to hear. Reduce the amount of sliding and slipping in conditions with bad adhesion. Fixed areas where the model and textures were a bit low res. Fixed texture seam along the side of the reverser handle. Fix class 158 head and tail light mimic panel to display the marker lights as intended. I thought that wasn't working originally, and we've seen that already, so that now I can confirm does work. Fixed issues with the lighting in the passenger compartment. Fixed an issue causing to the guard panel's local door to not work as expected in the open position. Fixed lighting on the rear of the train at the start that was showing red and white on service 5 Charlie 20. Fixed issues preventing sanding to never be applied to the rear coach. Fixed the blue door light to stay illuminated until all doors in the consist are closed and interlocked. Then we have fixed coupler button logic to establish jumper cable connection. So couple button has to be pressed with the reverser in neutral. Various fixes to the audio, which is a good reason that towards having our sound back set as it should be, so we can hear this. Various changes to the emergency brake physics and logic, and finally various physics improvements. And breathe. So that is all the 158. Thankfully the HST is not so long, it's about 10 points, so we'll quickly rattle through them, and that is it then. That's hopefully we've covered everything. We can go and have a drive and have a little look. We'll restart this service so it's literally on time, as we have done a lot of talking and not much driving. Mark will be pulling his hair out. He'll be going mad because I'm just sat here doing nothing, although this is a bit more of an informative video as well. So, Class 43 HST. You can now sit in the passenger seats, finally, once again. Passengers will correctly board and disembark and will not go through staff and guard doors. HST cars should be in the correct order. Remove block windows of Mark III TGS coach and added the interior model for the rear side guards area. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, fixed text appearing blurry and illegible on decals. Fixed issues with shadows casting behind decals on Mark III coaches. Fixed an issue preventing players to interact with the gangway doors. Fixed an issue where the TPWS trips with penalty brake on entry to Nottingham. Hopefully we can keep the vigilance and everything on here, because that happened with the 158 as well. You'd be tripped on the way into Nottingham, so thank God they've done that. I think it was an issue as well somewhere near Leicester. Hopefully that's been picked up on as well. Fixed DRA and AWS isolation switches being reversed in operation. Fixed not quite awake scenario to now start with the HST reverse facing forward. And also fixed issues where the doors appearing open after closing them from a distance. And finally, fixed gangway doors to correctly display open and closed. Hooray! We've done it. Right, that's the end of the video. No, I'm joking. It's not. We're going to do some driving. But that is all of the changelog. And I've got to applaud them, to be fair, because that is a lot. That is a lot of work they've done there on that list. So, fair play on that. So, this is the mammoth. Probably one of the biggest, I think, in all fairness, of changelogs. So, yeah. Let's go and take a drive. Right then, so we have rebooted the working, so it's 2K45 Matlock to Nottingham. So we're going to get ourselves set up here. We're going to put the key in, pop it into neutral, pop the safety systems on, because I want to see if this actually works when you go into Nottingham. Get the windows open. I think everything else is on. That'll do. It's a shame we can't do anything with the Voltron destination thing, but end of the day, the set route, we ain't changing where we're going to. I can confirm that the seat position definitely is higher, which is nice. It's got a light set. Pop. Right, so we're due off in about 30 seconds time. Pop that on as well. So yeah, just a general drive now up to Nottingham for this run. We'll just see how things are really. See what's what, see if there's any visuals have been changed or anything that I can spot. That's a little bit of a delay between the doors shutting as well though. Interesting. Oh, there we go. Oh, buzz, buzz. That's cool. That's nice. I like they actually get the buzz. There's a bit of a delay there as well, so takes a moment. Oh, I'm going with DRAs on. I'll say maybe it slightly revs up a bit too quick, but it ain't the end of the world, to be honest. Just sound good. There's still some clipping going on the end of this platform. I think that could have been done better. I feel like they just lobbed some concrete blocks on the end of here. Some bizarre reason. I don't know why that is like that, to be honest, because that's not part of the model. Surely. That is clipping into the train. That shouldn't be any further over than that white line. Well, Derby RTC on the right hand side, and Derby Etches Part 2 our left. One thing I don't understand is why the signal box is plotted around. As far as I'm aware, there's no signal box in that yard. There's some in other places as well, which puzzles me as well. It's nice to see that there's some split sections of 158s as well. The only downside is that with this livery that I've got installed, you do see it pop up sometimes. But I'm going to try and grab a few other ones off the Creators Hub, sort of vary it a bit more. Right, so Spondon. We're stopping at Spondon, which we didn't do on our last video. That's cool. I'll check this bridge well, because this was originally really, really tight. It still is tight. That probably could do with raising stuff. Don't think it's been touched, that, to be honest. Derby Pride Park and all that stuff. So you can actually see that. So you've got Pride and the football stadium over there. So yeah, football ground and Pride Park and all that jazz is over there, which is nice to see. This section of the route still isn't quite right. It should be on a bank, really, but you can't expect them to rebuild all that. So that would be a lot of work. So it is what it is. Not end of the world. Just flat rather than on a banking. Right, Spondon's less than a mile away, so we will be preparing to stop very, very shortly. I can also see that the trees don't pop in, which is actually really, really nice to see. They pop in slightly, but nowhere near as noticeable as the originally was, so win-win. In some routes, they really, really pop in quite a lot. And sometimes they sort of detract you from what you're looking at. You're sort of like looking at these trees popping in. They detract you from looking at what you should be looking at, which is where you're going. Sounds like there's a bit of a Doppler effect going on there with that horn. I don't see how this door works because I'm not sure if it's the guard bit working first. I'm not sure if this has been implemented. Ah, that's why it takes a minute. So the rear opens as a guard. That's really cool. I like that. And then it opens the rest. Excellent. Hence why there's a bit of a delay on the buzz at the end. So obviously all the main doors and then the local door shut last. Sort of implementing a guard operation. Excellent. Right, so I'm going to get the doors shut now because it'll take a minute for them to shut. It's leaving the door open. It's shutting the back one first this time, but not sure if that's quite strictly correct. But And there we go. That's really, really nicely done, to be fair. And then you get the buzz. And also, I was just quickly have a look at that level crossing because that had an issue last time. Yeah, that's better. It was sort of really, really narrow in the middle of the road, but they've actually they've fixed that. So, win-win. Interesting. Oh, hello. Something going on with the NPCs by the looks of it there. Well, there is characters on the station. Although there seems to be a bit of a backlog at the back of the building. I presume we're going to stop at all stations here, because I don't think I've stopped at Attenborough yet. Yeah, we're all stations to Nottingham. It's a good choice, really, because I haven't done some of these stations. Not on this one, anyway. I've done it on TS Classic, of course, but not on TSW. Which all service I've done up to now, just literally fly through the stations. Visually, it's looking alright, to be fair. I feel like it's looking good. Trackside missing clutter still, which is something I picked up on last time. There's nothing, there's no cable trunk or anything. No grids. Bits of stuff strewn around the side, bits of track, maybe bits of ballast, piles and stuff. That's a shame, really. Good, that would have been a good opportunity to have that done for the update. That was a big job for someone to do, but it's something that's going to visually make your route stand out as well. At the minute, it's just got some track, grass, and some signals, which is interesting because they went and added that cable trunk in through Derby Station, so should have had someone maybe go through this and lob a load of trunking in. Grass still is growing as you get near it, which is interesting. It's growing as you get up to it. It's like popping out of the ground and getting taller. Very weird. Not sure why that is. That cut in here should be a bit closer to the train as well, but it's there at least, so not the end of the world. This bit feels really, because of the way the grass is growing, it looks like you're in a desert. Like there's no ground there, and you get near it, it all grows. Just looks very, very weird. That could have really benefited having some work done to it to stop the stuff growing and popping in. I have a feeling it's been done with a paint tool rather than a normal foliage paint tool. Basically, there's two different things you can do. You can paint foliage, and you can also paint weeds. There's like a terrain paint. I feel like it's been done with the terrain paint style of foliage rather than the actual foliage tool, which is a shame. But that area back there this ain't so bad here. I can see it. It's not as bad because it's not as big, the area. That was just very, very large and open in that section, so you can really see it popping in. And again, that sort of detracts from not having any trackside clutter here, because you really can see that. Right, Long Eaton's 2.2 miles yet. Saw the level crossing was something that was on the notes. We'll take a look at that. That's apparently had some work done to it, so we shall see what's in store there. Scenery around here is looking good though. All the environment around the track and stuff's looking good. Plenty of detail in all the warehouses and stuff next to the track and that. Top marks on that. They definitely know what they're doing in that respect. I need to plug my headset in whilst I'm doing this because it's going to die. It keeps popping, like making. I don't think it pops up in videos, but it keeps making noises to me. Basically telling me off. Double yellow. That was so well crossing as well. Fair enough. Apart from that there's a fence in the road there, but it's looking tidier. Just that fence needs fixing, really. Fingers crossed that'll get picked up on. Crossing does look tidier though. I will agree. It did look a little bit messy originally. Some brakes there, otherwise we'll end up going straight through the station. So we've got the double and single yellow here, basically because the approach control for the junction at Sheep Store. Also very, very small number 70 on that Morpeth board back there. So you see at the minute we've got a red. That will change as we approach Sheep Stores. Provided I don't drive like an absolute Burke. I'm not sure if they've added a load more signs to these stations. What I want to know is how come it opens that one first on the opening, but that one last. I would have thought it'd been that one to be shut last again. I do like that sort of whistling of the engine. They did get a good job with that. Like, they've done a really nice job on that. I'll say there, I mean, DTG were involved with sound, really, a lot of the sound work originally, so. I'm not sure if DTG did tweets on the audios and that for the update on this, to be honest, or whether Skyhook were involved with that. So, whoever was involved on the audio side of things, well done. So we're just waiting for this to clear, so it should clear when we do the AWS ramp. There we go. And again, another mystery signal box look. Not sure what that's all about, because basically the signal boxes, there's one at level crossing up here near Attenborough. Now, there's no signal boxes anywhere around here. I believe that them signal boxes are for crossing houses, which I don't quite understand why you put a signal box at a crossing keeper's house. I don't just understand why. I'd rather, me personally, why not just make an actual signalman crossing house, not put a signal box there. That's my understanding of it anyway. I would put the proper house there. Or put a house there. Sort of looks like a crossing house. Now, so they said on the update they've re-enabled the High Line, which is this one here. So I wonder if you can start driving on here somewhere. I don't think you can use Toten though. I don't think Toten is accessible, as far as I'm aware. Hey, where's my lights? I've been driving with no lights on. That's a bad Tom. It's a very Tom thing to do. In all honesty, isn't it? Try and get a screenshot somewhere. The sun's in a really, really dodgy place now. Try Attenborough. So this is Trent Junction. If it was a continue here, you'd take you down to Totem. We're going to cross over, obviously, and continue towards Nottingham. I might actually do another video after this and have a look at the freight working. Seems that we've not had freight yet on the route, so it'd be interesting to see what that actually involves. What it involves and all that jazz. Where it goes to. And that'll also, I think it goes towards Leicester, so that'll give us a good chance to have a look at what's been done down there. Interesting whistle board. It's got a, it's like a speed sign one. I noticed there was a few bits like this, so stuff like this should have been really tidied up. All very skew with. We're inside the nature reserve now at Attenborough. It's here where you can see the level crossing house. There's no signal crossing. There's no signal box. It should be a house. Just looks a bit odd. Making a bit of a word salad out of this. And then this one here, look, you've got the rail heads in the middle of the crossing. Just little bits like that, really. Those are the main things, just little things like that detract my eye. And obviously, the missing trackside clutter. The station model is absolutely superb. This looks like Attenborough. I've been to Attenborough, and I can confirm that looks like Attenborough Station. It's a nice model, good representation, to be honest. The station modelling skills are absolutely superb. There's no problems in that department, I can assure you there. The only thing, this is at the end, to me, little nitpicky things, there's missing things like there's a little planter here, like a bird, like an insect nest somewhere around here. Just little bits like that, but again, it's not the end of the world. No, it's Skyhook's representation at the root end of the day, and it represents it. Nice bridge as well. I'm going to do a screenshot here, wasn't it? The door shut whilst waiting. onwards to Beeston. One thing I've just noticed as well is on the thing here, this might be actually related to my livery, is the numbers not showing. That might be Creator Club related, to be honest, on this livery, because this isn't a core one. That might be why it's not showing. So I'm not gonna pick on that. Still say that aggregates load is a bit too tall, but never mind. Not too bad. At least it's there. The main thing. I think it's in period sort of around this point where the route's represented. Is that was as well? I think it's gone now. In today's world, I think it's gone. I think it was still there when this is represented. I think it's the same sort of era as the JT one. This same sort of era, 2018, 2019ish. Basically, the back end of East Midlands trains, and the Derby remodelling and everything. Right, so station is approaching or looming. Only very slightly late, and not too bad. Not sure if I've been driving it too slow, if the timetable's tight. I can't quite be sure on that. It might be the fact that it takes a bit longer for the doors to shut, in all honesty. Ooh, there's some harsh lighting changing there. Not sure what's causing that. I do like the station. I wonder what's causing that light. It's dark there. You get it goes up. Weird. Obviously the light can get through there, it's just very, very harsh shadow change. Probably more core related, that I would suspect. The way that it obviously handles the light. A little bit longer than you'd like to hope for that. For the doors to shut. I really do think that's going to hamper the timetables, like timings, to get to places, because you're sitting there longer. I bet the timetable's not been tweaked to compensate that. Anyway, Nottingham next, so we're going to go via line C. We're going to see what happens here as well, if it trips us or not. Now, just to touch back on the sound mod for the 158, if you do download it, I will pop it in the description if anyone wants to have a look at it. It gives you a 50% chance of either having the Cummins or a Perkins sounding unit. So there is that chance you can get one of each, which is quite nice. And they actually are Perkins recordings that we've put into it as well. Some wagons been put in there. I don't think they were there originally. I don't feel like I've seen them before, so that's nice. This is not empty. Probably benefited a few cars in there. They've parked the containers in there. It's all good. Some more wagons in. So around here is that sort of Reckitt Bannister and like the Boots warehouse, like distribution centres around there. The big warehouses. You're probably thinking Reckitt Bannister, what the heck's that? I don't know. Because I know what it's called because of it on the JT one, but there was a big, massive distribution centre stuff around there. Revisiting this, I do actually feel like the route itself looks nicer. It feels nicer to actually drive. I don't know if they've done something visually to this, but it does look. I wonder if it's the tree popping that makes it feel better. To be honest, still missing trammo actually. I can see. Really annoying. That does trigger me, to be fair. It's a shame they didn't put any out or actually mass. Even if you just put some mass in there without bloody wires. Been better than nothing. Honestly, I think if this has a full sweep of trackside clutter, I think this would be a really, really nice environment. It already feels nice now. I feel better about it revisiting it since this update, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, a full sweep of trackside clutter. Oh, there's a floating signal gantry there. I do honestly feel I've been tripped there. I wonder if that's my fault though. Maybe because I'm coming too fast toward that signal. I don't know. There must be an overspeeding ramp there, to be honest. A quick way of doing this, I can turn it off. Turn it back on. Should be right now. Well, no, you usually would have to wait a minute, but I'm not doing that. So there's either a bug there, or it's because I'm going too fast. I'm not too sure. Like, it's still doing the same thing it was, so yeah, I'm not overly sure on that. So just be wary of that. You might get tripped. Again, it could be me going still too fast. I don't know. I'd have to have another go on it. We're going into platform 3, B and C on this. One thing I'm going to check here is the blades on the points to see if they actually fix those. If they can fix them at certain areas, hopefully they fix them everywhere. Somewhere in the tunnels, I'll check all of them, so there's none there. Nope, that one's still blocked. Still broken. So they've not done them all around here. Which is really annoying. Inverted rail as well. That's really annoying. That's a common bug with many routes though. That inverted rail stuff. But then point blades, I've never ever seen them on any other route. Just this. There's a bit of a big pinking station there as well. Not curved as much as you would hope, but it's looking good still. I do like Nottingham Station. Love the station. Alright. Well, we've made it. Hooray! Right, let's get the doors open. So I didn't actually see or feel like there was massive amounts of AI. Might have been the time of day. We did see a HST obviously at Derby that came in behind us. Didn't pass any HSTs going towards Derby though, but again, it could just be the time of the day. Did see a couple of 158s though, which is all good. So yeah, happy days. Right, so that's that. We'll end this here. I'm going to do another video. I'm going to do the freight working as the next video. So keep your eye out for that. That's something we've not been able to do on this route yet. But it's looking promising. There's still a few things. There's not major things, just little bits that slip the net really. In all honesty, I do still stand by my guard and hope that maybe they do go and put some trackside clutter in though. That is one of the big things that this route really does suffer from, is having barely next to none. So fingers crossed that that can be seen and implemented in the future if they have the time to do so. I hope they do. I think it'll do them massive wonders, to be honest. Anyway, enough rambling. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video not long-winded and boring for the first 20 minutes, but I wanted to get all the information out there because not everyone likes reading things, so I thought I'll read it to you instead in my dulcet tones. All the best. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, hit your notification bell for future videos. Catch you on Twitch on twitch.tv/trainsim_TV on a Friday and Sunday for all things train related. Train Sim World, Train Sim Classic, Sim Rail, you name it, we do it. Take care. Thank you for watching, and again, we'll see you very soon. Bye for now.